Hallelujah, Maranatha, Shalom, Salam Alaikum. My name is Reverend Imam Paramswami Maharaj, and I am, of course, a 200-hour certified baptism teacher and a 500-hour RBT, registered baptism therapist. And I run a chain of baptism studios, and we offer all of the contemporary forms of baptism. We have hot baptism, power baptism, doggy baptism, laughter baptism, even nude baptism for the more adventurous. And we offer a whole line of baptismal apparel. We have one-piece and two-piece and thongs to show off your baptism booty, of course. We have baptism mats and towels. We have our own magazines, Baptism Journal, International Baptism. And we'll also be offering communion certifications, 200 hours. And for 500 hours, you can become a sommelier. Now, some of my colleagues, and you may know them, alisbaptism.com, naliniscommunion.com, they've asked me, what do we do about these basically Christian fundamentalists that try and tell us that baptism and communion are sacred Christian practices? Well, my advice to them is, one, simply confront them with peace, brother, sister. No divisions, no labels, no judgments here. And if they persist, you're just going to have to gently and intelligently remind them that nobody owns baptism and communion. Water, wine existed long before Christianity. And if they still persist, you're going to have to tell them, well, basically, you're probably a racist. You need to go back to the Middle East because you're in America now. Crazy? Insane, you ask? Think any Christian would put up with that? Imagine calling up a Christian minister or pastor and priest and asking about the use of the baptismal pool for underwater therapy, aerobics, underwater aerobics. What kind of wine they're serving this Sunday, wine tasting. Do you know, though, if you were to ask many, many people today, have you ever heard of yoga? They just might say, what are you, crazy? Everybody's heard of yoga. My goodness, there are yoga studios in every town, several. It's in the community centers. It's in the schools, the hospitals. It's on TV, books, magazines, Madison Avenue. Where have you been? In a cave or something? Oh, okay. Then if you next ask, did you know that yoga is all about the Hindu religion, Hinduism, Hindu Dharma? They would say, what are you, crazy? Yoga has nothing to do with religion, certainly not Hinduism. And we know because we are the 200-hour certified, professional, authoritative yogis. And some of us are even 500-hour, Kim Yajna Asi, registered yoga therapists. And it's we who offer hot yoga and power yoga, doggy yoga, laughter yoga, nude yoga, goat yoga, beer yoga, Ted's yoga, Mary's yoga, Kino yoga, Adrian's yoga. And you Hindus, yogi swamis, whatever, you're not even allowed to teach in these public venues. And Hindus and concerned citizens, concerned individuals, students of the Hindu Yoga Dharma, it's not simply the once sacred Sanskrit Tamil Hindu word yoga, yogam, that has been absolutely perverted, distorted beyond recognition. We'll go into a few other terms in a moment, but here's a shocker. The Sanskrit Tamil Hindu word yoga, yogam, per se, has nothing to do with the physical body. Kya? Ji ha. Yoga Samskritam asi, Yuj, Atman, Brahman, Cha. The meaning of the Sanskrit word, and Sanskrit is by definition the ancient Arya, another confused term. Ancient Arya or noble language of the Hindus. So it's a religious language. All of these words that are bantied about in the public today, if one is honest, they have to recognize this is talking about a religion. It's a religious language as opposed to our secular English language, which is our common language around the world. It's okay. Always understanding the difference between generalities and specifics. Sanskrit is a very specific language. It's a religious language, the language of the Hindus. So yoga is Hinduism, Hindu Dharma. Hinduism is yoga. From the Rig Veda, yoge samana parivam sapta shravato ratto gat. Through all of the classic yogas, yoge, we find within this body chariot our tranquil inner nature. Hindus. Remember, we are Hindus. Hindu doesn't matter if you add the H or not. It's the same thing. And what does it mean? Chandra Sarid Soma Bindu. This is what it means to be a Hindu. And we're also identified by the Bindu, for the most part. Again, from the Rig Veda, Puram Bindu Vajri Parush Tutaha. Ancient Bindu Hindu, soulful warrior. So we're Hindus. And we do yoga, all of it. And what's our goal? Atma Darshana Paramo Dharma. Along with all of our other important duties, Dharma, our overriding Param supreme duty is to realize, see, experience, Darshana, our Atmana. Huge Atman Brahman Cha. This is the essence of Hindu Dharma, Hinduism, the Hindu religion. And we can use all of those terms safely. Remember, we don't want to nix the word religion. If we do, we then shoot ourselves in the foot once again. Think of the ramifications. We'd be removed from all comparative religious texts. And we'd be disingenuous because we've all been incorporated, especially in the West, as religious organizations, 501c3s. On a hospital form, under religion, you put Hindu, Dharma. Chandra Siddhi Soma Bindu, this is what it means to be a Hindu. We're Hindus, we do yoga, all of it, to reach Atmana. Vidma Hitva Sahasras Atman. Give us this knowledge of Atma Darshana. So the Hindu lifestyle is, and it's basically in an order, a progressive order, pade pade, step by step, sutra by sutra, thread by thread. Karma Yoga, Hindu ethics. Bhakti Yoga, Hindu devotions. And again, important understanding of respecting generalities and specific. Devotion is a general term. Bhakti Yoga is a very specific term within Hinduism. Mass is Catholic, for example, Catholic devotions. Bhakti Yoga, Hindu devotions. Many times we confuse this. Just like there is exercise and stretching, it's fine, it's a general term. But Hatha Yoga, that's all Hindu Dharma, if we're honest. So we have Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga are Hindu contemplations, Jnana Yoga or Jnana Yoga, Hindu studies, outwardly and inwardly. Open the inner book. Karma, Bhakti, Raja, Jnana. These are the classic four yogas that are gleaned from the Vedic understanding of Karma Kanda. Kanda is analogous to yoga. Kanda means root. Yoga is huge to yoke. Same thing. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Jnana Kanda. So we know Karma and Jnana, but what was Upasana? Beautiful. The Rishis understood the inseparability of Bhakti Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and Raja Yoga in the word Upasana, worshipful meditation, and it also has the word asana in there, Upasana. Now within the classic four yogas, which in the Tamil language is Chariye, Kariye, Yogam, and Jnanam, same thing, Karma, Bhakti, Raja, Jnana. We have Hatha Yoga, Hindu devotional postures. Mantra Yoga, Hindu devotional chants. Japa Yoga, Hindu devotional chants on deeds, a mala, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. For example, remember we're a Hindu family, hopefully a united Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakti, the three. So let us live in harmony and follow the Dharma and plant your yoga tree. Karma Bhakti Raja Jnani, And then Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Japa Yoga, Nada Yoga, Nata Yoga, Hindu devotional music, bhajan, kirtan, and Hindu devotional dance. And come on, all of you know that it takes decades of study and preparation to really master anything, and certainly within Hinduism, all of you who are into Hindu dance and music and art, you've taken decades, and you're sanctioning people to, in 200 hours, it takes 1,500 hours to become a dog groomer. 200 hours to become a professional, certified, authoritative yoga teacher, teaching in hospitals, schools, etc. Wow. So of all the classic yogas, do you know that there was only one, that the rishis, our Hindu holy sages, said, keep this one secret, don't display it. It's not that it can't be taught, but you don't want to display it for quote-unquote obvious reasons. And that's the very one that's out there today under the guise of yoga, which is supposed to be Hatha Yoga. Because Hatha Yoga does deal with the physical body, the asanas, the postures, which first and foremost remembers an attitude. Posture is attitude. And the rishi said to keep this one secret because they knew what would happen. Immature people would accentuate the body, and that's what it's become. This so-called yoga, mislabeled, has become a cult of the body. It's become a big business. No different than, again, if you were to take the sacred Christian practice of baptism, turn it into an underwater therapy, start selling all kinds of products, have Mahesh's baptism.com, like we have Kino's yoga and Adrian's yoga, putting your name on sacred religious disciplines. Wow, the height of egoism, of narcissism. But they learned it from weak and capitulating narcissistic Hindus. I mean, Iyengar yoga, Bikram yoga. And all of you need to do your homework because there have been massive scandals that have really hurt the lives of many, many people. I mean, just look at the infamous Bikram, who's on the run somewhere, and he's still flourishing, obviously, in many ways. But you know, if it's not Hindu yoga, it's all hot yoga, which is the street term for stolen, is it not? So the rishi said, keep this Hatha Yoga secret, or basically not on display, which is obviously what's become of it. And we have classic scriptures. Now, we have many scriptures in Hinduism, and we can use them or not. It doesn't actually matter. We don't have to use them. We're not people of the book, like the monotheistic religions. We don't believe in God. Many Hindus also misuse that term. We don't believe in God. We're not monotheists, except for the extremists, like the Hare Krishnas, for example, and others. But it's important to understand that this Hatha Yoga was detailed in several classic scriptures, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika by Swami or Yogi Svatmanama, the Giranda Samhita by Sage Giranda, the Siva Samhita, which is interesting. It was written by a human, of course, but it's supposed to be directly inspired by Siva and Parvati, dialogue. Beautiful. And the Siddhasananta Padati of Yogi Garakana. These are classic scriptures that do detail the various asanas and talk about the other things that are so chic to many people, I guess, Kundalini, chakras. And the problem is many have gone into the esoterics without any preparation at all, and many have become very confused at best. You'll see on YouTube where many of these people now have seen the light, if you will, and finally realized, though it's an easy search, that everything they were doing was Hinduism, and they were going so deep into all of these esoterics that they just went a little bit kooky. And they flip over and become born-again Christians. Very interesting. So in these classic scriptures on Hatha Yoga, they all beseech Mahadev Shiva because he's the epitome of the Hatha Yogi, Adinada. And they all say what Svatmanama said, every one of them. Hatha Vidya, Bhaveda Yavate Guya, Niveda Tu Prakash Avaranam. This knowledge, Vidya, of Hatha, is powerful when you keep it secret, and loses power, Niveda, when you display it. Tu Prakash Avaranam, powerful Bhaveda. So it was never meant for open display. And remember that the word hatha is a direct reference to shipping hara and hari.